Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about Coinbase. Coinbase is fighting for Bitcoin and crypto. That's why they are suing the SEC. They're taking a lawsuit to fight to the SEC rather than sit idle. So let's talk about this big news and talk about what else is going on in the world of crypto. Welcome, guys. And Nathan, thank you for that big super chat. You know what? Before I get, I'm just going to jump into it, right? Let's go jump right into this. This comes a day after Chamath actually declared crypto is dead in America. Okay, that's what he said in his All-In podcast. Basically, it's like due to regulatory concerns, mostly from Gary Gensler. I mean, like literally, if you're a crypto project or a company in the U.S., you pretty much are dead because without clarity, without proper guidance, it's virtually impossible to be building anything related to crypto in the U.S. That's why maybe Coinbase decided to do this. Coinbase, after getting a lot of notices from the SEC saying we may sue you over securities, we may do this, we may do that, Coinbase is like, we had enough, okay? We're going to sue you. And this is actually over an answer Coinbase was looking for back in 2022. It's been almost a full year. And Coinbase simply asked if the current security laws apply to crypto. That's really all they asked, right? You know how like Gary Gensler, whenever he's being interviewed, he would say, well, the laws are in place. And he's talking about the Howey test from 1932. He's like, yeah, they're in place. All crypto companies need to do is just come in and register and that's it, right? But in reality, you can't come in and register. There's no defined rules. That's why exchanges are getting hit left and right with lawsuits due to various tokens all of a sudden being declared securities. And new projects are trying to seek clarity too from the SEC and getting none. Okay, so all Coinbase asked back in July 2022 is whether or not the SEC is going to judge crypto projects the same way it judges all securities. That's it. And since then, almost a year, Coinbase did not get an official answer. They already assume it's no. But they're like, screw that. Okay? We're going to sue them and force them to actually declare whether or not they will apply the same security rules to crypto, which is what Gary's been hinting at all along, but won't say yes or no. Just like when he was asked point blank, is Ether a security? And he keeps dancing around the question, right? He refuses to make any declaration. He hints that Ether is a security. He sues Library because he's like, Library security because it's on top of Ethereum. Yet, when he was asked directly if Ethereum is security, he dodges that question. He refuses to answer. It was embarrassing, and I was laughing it off with you guys, right? This is exactly what's happening in the U.S. I mean, at this point, crypto companies would rather him just declare, okay, everything is security. At least there's some kind of definition. But there's not. There's nothing. Like, it's asking, and someone made a really good example in the live chat. It's like if a cop pulls you over and you ask the cop, well, what did I do wrong? And the cop's like, I think you broke the law, so I'm going to give you a ticket. And then you ask for, what did I do exactly? The cop's like, and doesn't give a direct answer. And if you ask the cop, what should I do to avoid future tickets? What laws did I break? Undetermined. I'll decide that in the future. That's pretty much what Gary is doing. He's not giving any definitive rules in terms of what he's looking for, what you should do, what you should not do, right? And it's quite laughable. It's quite laughable, which is why Chamath declared crypto is dead. But me, on the other hand, I don't believe crypto is dead. I think true pioneers and people who stand up for freedom and rights, they will prevail. They will continue to fight Gary until he is gone and replaced with someone else. Now, we don't know if that someone else is better. Okay? But at this point in time, I think anyone would be. Because Gensler's previous predecessor was Jay Clayton. And I remember Jay Clayton. He was pretty relaxed. He didn't want to approve a Bitcoin ETF, and I see his point because back in 2017, it was really early, right? But outside of that, that was it. Although he did declare on his very last day that SEC was going to sue Ripple, right? But I think that's because other people kind of forced him to do that. Not that he wanted to, because he knew he was on his way out. And you know what? Jay Clayton actually consults for a crypto company. So that kind of shows you that he's not really anti-crypto. But Gary, who we all thought was anti-crypto, is actually turning out to be the biggest crypto slayer of them all, right? So there's that. So we'll see. We'll see. But you know what? Today it was reported that President Biden's new communications director owns some Bitcoin. Between 50,000 to 100,000. So not the greatest amount, but at least that's like 2, 3, 4 Bitcoins, right? And because of this, he will not be able to participate in anything that's crypto related. But maybe he can get in Biden's ear a little bit and talk about all the good things about Bitcoin. And maybe he could get in Biden's ear and tell him to fire Gary Gensler, because apparently Biden's the only person that can fire him. Not Congress, although Congress may be changing the laws, whether or not there needs to be a SEC chair, but we'll see. But, Bitcoin 2023 is coming up. You got a lot of Congress people or former Congress people that are coming in and speaking out about Bitcoin, right? And crypto. Even SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce have gone on record saying how she's so disappointed with the SEC and how they're ruling. I think she's really just saying Gary Gensler, but she's afraid to say it because Gary's her boss, right? But there are a lot of people that are turning the corner. They're realizing that, you know what? We can't trust the banks, okay? We can't trust the government. We can't trust the Fed to not overspend. Look at this headline. First Republic says deposits tumbled 40%. Okay, they say things are stabilized, but out of the 104 billion, 30 billion was forced to be deposited by other larger banks. Who forced it? The Fed. Okay, so it's actually less, right? So without that cash injection, who knows how badly First Republic would be. But I mean, this is the reason why people are turning to Bitcoin. It's like, how can you trust anything out there right now, right? You got to safeguard your own money. You got to safeguard your own personal property, your freedom with Bitcoin. That's what it is. But you know what? Bitcoin is still doing just fine. There may be volatility, but the fundamentals, the growth has never been better. Now, if you're in Texas, you could buy real estate directly with Bitcoin. I don't know how many of you guys would want to do that. Maybe you are a Bitcoin billionaire like Michael Saylor and you want to buy some property. Well, now you could. And it's just a matter of time before it expands everywhere in the U.S., right? But as for Bitcoin's movement right now, we're testing a support line. And if we're following what happened in 2019, well, again, very good things will happen in short order. So we have that to look forward to. And longer term, we got much greater heights to look forward to. Even Standard Chartered, a bank analyst, is saying, you know what, Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000 by 2024. But what about 2025? That's the year after the halving event, the most bullish year. Can we go from 100,000 to 200,000 to 300,000 in 2025? Maybe, right? Even banks are saying it. So that shows you how they're starting to realize that not only Bitcoin cannot be stopped, but it's only going to gain more momentum from here, right? So fantastic stuff. Now, outside of Bitcoin today, if you are a meme coin fan, well, you'll be very happy to note that Floki Inu, another dog coin, joins Dogecoin and Shiba Inu on Binance.us. So if you're in the US, now you can buy Floki on Binance.us. Okay. That's if you choose to do so. But just to give Floki some credit, yes, they got listed today. They also, they're launching their staking program. Okay, so for those of you guys that have your Floki whale and you want to stake, well, that's pretty positive that you can stake directly from a wallet, a non-custodial wallet, okay? And Floki partners with some badminton association that's exposed to 600 million households and people. That's kind of crazy if you think about it, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on with Floki. I really don't know anything about Floki, but I know a lot of you guys are meme coin fans, so I just feel like I have to talk about it. But as for Shib, you know, Shib continues to be bought by whales. Okay, there's payments coming. Shibarium, the very first layer 2 for Shib, right? Still waiting for utility, waiting for dApps to come aboard. There's rumors about other meme coins coming on Shibarium. I mean, there's just like a lot of crazy stuff going on. And there's still a lot of burning that's happening with Shib. So there's still a lot of stuff going on with Shib and today Floki. But you know what? CZ is warning people, hey, if you're getting into meme coins, be careful, okay? Because there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of risk. Nothing is risk-free. So be careful. And I agree with CZ. And I'm still trying to get an interview with CZ, but he's like the hardest man on earth to get a hold of right now. Like literally everyone I've been asking can't do it. Either can't do it or asking for big favors to try to do it, but it's no guarantee. He is one tough guy to get for an interview. All right, that is pretty much it overall today. It's kind of like an even day, right? Kind of even day. It's okay. It's just a matter of time before Bitcoin blows up. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling down here. Let's see if I missed anything. I already answered Nate from before. Good morning from Australia. Let's see. XRP could have used the same argument. Government doesn't care. It's not just government. It's just Gensler. He just refuses to be direct on any question. He wants to leave it open because he doesn't want people to refer to any judgment, basically. It's like you have two coins that are the same. One gets sued for being security. One is not. Like, why, you know? Is it better to buy Ripple stock or XRP? I don't know. I don't know what's better. If you enjoy Ripple, you can get both, I guess. They don't even sell stock yet. They will go public, but not yet. Dan is shouting baby Doge. Okay. And Crypto Hound says we're bullish. That's good. I am bullish too. CZ has like $100 billion. I think CZ will become the richest man on earth. He will surpass Elon and others. He has way too many Bitcoins at his disposal. Did I get any Arbitrum airdrop? No. No. Oh. ETH charging $17.82 in gas fee. That's actually not bad. I've done some swaps recently. It's like $35. It's not good at all. And by the way, I posted this again. Oh, the Grizzlies Lakers are today. I gotta watch that, but man, Grizzlies got killed by Lakers last game. Anyways, I reposted this. A lot of you guys didn't enjoy this new format, and I promise this will get better over time. But FOMO pass, for next week. Looking for applicants. If you know projects or you are a leader of a project, then sign up. You have to use this link. It's on my Twitter, okay? And tomorrow I'm going to post one for my Twitter Spaces, which is coming up on Wednesday. So there's a lot of good and new things coming from dear old George. Dan, when are we going to hear about the XRP lawsuit? I have no clue. No clue. There's been nothing developing on that for a while. Who's worse, Gensler or Warren? I think Gensler. Can we DCA for past 2 weeks we missed? Sup, Art, you could do whatever you want. You could DCA every day. You could DCA every week. If you missed a week, you can double down on the next week, or it's up to you. Just be consistent about it. That's all. Let's leave this up. I don't have any opinions on RenQ. Mike, appreciate that. Any recommendations in a month of May? If we should hold, I mean, I hold all my positions. I don't try to time it. I'm not like, oh, it's May, I better sell off everything, and then, oh, I better buy back in when it's end of May. No, that would be ridiculous. Why can't the U.S. remove the debt ceiling? They can. Why don't you call the credit card company and just tell them to remove your spending limit too? What could go wrong, Dan? What could go wrong? Why don't all the credit card companies just remove everyone's credit limits? Let everyone spend endlessly. What could go wrong? I mean, what you're asking is the equivalent of that. Did we DCA last Wednesday on stream? Yes, we did. You just missed it. Amex still doesn't have a limit on most of their cards. My card does not have a limit. Ethereum POW is POS. That's my opinion of it. Ed says I DCA once a week, but heavy on dip periods. That's a good strategy. When the market dips a lot, you want to take advantage. There's nothing wrong with that. Going a little heavier. Otherwise, you just could be consistent, or just hold on what you have. Don't worry, it's not a Bud Light. What's happening to Polygon? I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure why Polygon has become so weak recently. That's been a head scratcher too. I'm wondering if all the money is just going to like Arbitrum and L2s. Because, I mean, look at it. Last 60 days, Bitcoin and Ethereum are both up. XRP's up. But Polygon's down almost 30%. Shib even is down almost 22%. A lot of things have come down in the red. Cosmos also, Uniswap, right? But I'm wondering if the money went elsewhere or there's just more weakness. This is funny. It shows Arbitrum down 88% from 60 days. That's because it debuted so high. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you look at 60-day, there's a lot of project that's in the red. You know, because if you look at 60 days ago, that's when Bitcoin, I don't know. Bitcoin kind of stole a lot of thunder or lightning or whatever, lightning and thunder from a lot of the altcoins when it started coming up. So that could be why. Just Bitcoin and then plus Ethereum, let's not forget, stole a lot of dominance too. So it could be a combination of those two that kind of stole some of the liquidity from the altcoins. Your thoughts on Coinbase bidding Celsius Network auction on 25th? I don't know. Maybe Gary's going to try to block that too. He's still trying to block Voyager from being acquired by Binance.us. So maybe Gary's going to put a wrench in that too. Mike, I mean, I'm just speculating like everyone else. There's really no bad news for Matic. I think it's just a combination of things. Bitcoin and Ethereum getting strong. Some L2s getting strong. I don't know. And recently there's been a little more fear about what's to come in May. All these things are adding a little bit more sell pressure to someone like Matic, which really shouldn't be down that much, especially being the top 10, you know. Do you think all-time high will be a year after the halving or towards the end of... I would say towards the end. Every time it's like toward the end of the year. I say probably October, November of 2025. That makes the most sense. Pancake Swap, they're still absolutely huge. They're absolutely huge. Now they're not only on Binance Chain, but they expanded into Ethereum. They're like the second biggest DEX by volume. So good. Do it for the Corvette. What Corvette? I don't have any opinion on Digibyte. Actually, I have negative opinion about Digibyte. It's just, it's an old relic that no one seems to care about anymore. There's nothing really going for it. Nothing to look forward to. If they were going to come out the L2, I don't know if they ever did. They kind of did, I think. And then they still have their 5-layer consensus. But that's about it. I don't hear anything exciting coming out of Digibyte. Maker, not a fan. It's just a stablecoin maker. Interview Charlie Munger. It's hard to argue with old billionaires, I would say. You can't convince them of the future because their future is so limited. So it's not like, and then plus they're so rich, so you can't make them, you can't sell them on life-changing wealth when they already have it, you know. So then what's the point? It's basically impossible to convince Munger and Buffett. There's no point. Just save your breath. Jabari, if you can get Will and Scott, the founders of Condena, to reach out to me, I will do an interview with them. I would love to bring them on Spaces. But everyone I've talked to that supposedly has connections to them, again, is being really wishy-washy. Like, they all claim they have ties to them, but none of them can make a direct connection. And I don't see why. I'm one of the biggest, bulls on Condena. Okay? And it's known that I want to talk with them, but all these projects that are somehow close to them, none of them can make a direct connection. I don't know what it is. Why is it so secret? It's not like, they're CZ. So if you have or anyone else has any connections to them, referring to me, I'd love to talk to them just to build rapport, talk to them on spaces, talk about how I can help Condena, etc. Do you think BTC will be higher than 40K when the halving event happens? Yes. I think there's a real possibility we'll be at 40K by the end of the year. A real possibility. We could even be higher than that. What price movement would look like the past? I don't know. We'll probably be like around 60K by the halving event if we were following previous price movements. All right, guys. Let's conclude. Overall, you know what? Banks are still weak. Gensler is still weak. And that's why Coinbase is fighting the good fight and taking a lawsuit to the SEC and Gary. And hopefully we get an answer. This is simply just asking for a simple answer. Whether or not security laws apply to crypto. That's it. It should be a yes or a no. But something that Gary refused to answer, so we'll see. But stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care.